Hi, Angie here, or Angela, whatever you'd like to call me. Angie or Angela works. We are on page 7 of our Roses and Lace album. And I've spent some time the last couple days looking this over and trying to figure out a good page and how to do it. And I only frustrated myself with the whole thing, so I just had to give myself a talking to and remind myself that this is for fun and that I don't need to go overboard on it. I have to rein myself in a little bit. Otherwise, I go too far in complicating things. So anyway, I am trying to uncomplicate things now. And I'm straightening up a little bit, as you can see, as we go. So we are ready to start on page 7 today. And page 7, the first piece of paper I'm going to use is out of the Country Roads paper. Out of here. And the reason I'm using that is because our page 6, sorry. Our page 6 had this same paper. So I want to bring this in over to here. The other piece of paper I'd like to find maybe is this one to put back here, or maybe the wood one. So let's have a look at what papers we have. Now I fussy cut this one out of the Country Roads, and it was the one with the wood behind it, this one here. So if this doesn't work with this, then I will go to this paper here. But let's take a look at this first. Put just a few flowers up there. I'm going to have to put this on a solid piece of paper. And it will get trimmed off over here at the end. I'm really not so sure I like how that looks right directly with it together like that. So I do think I'm going to have to use, let me put this page up. I think we will have to use the one that adjoined it. I know I just saw it. The last page. That's where it's at. Okay, now that I've picked those out, what I want to do next is give you an idea of where we're headed with this album. With these pages. You can see I've got it all stacked up together here. So, let's see. So this page is going to open this direction towards the inside of the album. And then that puts us on, and I have taken a 12-inch piece of paper. I have cut it down to size to open from the spine, to open on the spine on side. On the 12-inch piece of paper, I scored it at a 1/2 inch, and then I scored it another 1/8 of an inch. And then I measured it out on my paper, and I wanted it to come back just slightly. So I went back let's see. I went back just about 5/16 of an inch, 1/4 inch. Yeah, I went 5/16. So between 1/4 and between 1/4 and 3/8, you'll get your 5/16. Okay, and that was just to leave, I don't know, a little space there, just to define that the page is going to open. So then the page will open this way. And let's see, am I in view? Yes. At this other score line, that's where I scored it. I'm sorry, I didn't finish my thought. I went back, I made it a little mark, and then I scored it. And I turned it to the inside. And then I decided that I wanted to put 2 pockets here. So I took, oh, that one got kind of roughed up with my looking at things. I wanted to put a pocket on here, and I want to add a hinged top on it. So my pocket measures, you want to fit it to this, but mine measures 4.5 by 3 1/4, a little over 1/4. And I am centering the bottom of this one here on this line I made it the center of my paper, and it is slightly smaller than this full piece. And then I added a top on it that is 3 inches and the same width as your pocket. Now, I haven't decided yet if that's how deep I'm going to leave it. I have X's on here because that means there's some sort of an attachment that may need to be made in this album. This one here, the X on the pocket flap, and this one here mean that those are going to be magnets. This one and this one, there's not one up here, but there's going to have to be some sort of an attachment here to keep this lid closed. So there's one of them, and here's pocket 2 that's going to fit here with its lid. So when it's all marked up here, it should look pretty good. We hope. Sure it will. So those are pretty deep flaps, but I figured that pictures could be put in up here on the flap, on the inside or the outside. So there's that. Now, on the inside of this flap, I have made this pocket, and I am going to place it, oh, I think I decided to move it to here. I'm going to place it right here. Not right on that fold, it has to come out a little bit to the right of it. And then over here I decided that I would put these little, I think they're 2.5 by 3 inch photo mats, probably not these pink ones. I just finally had to cut some that I could use to kind of measure things out with. And I had to make them so they weren't white, so I could actually just step back and take a look. Now this pocket is going to get glued down, and I put some arrows here to tell me that I need to apply some sort of a hinge system right here, or not a hinge, but a closure system, so that so that the tags won't fall out when the page is opening and closing. So hopefully these will be tight enough to hold this flap down, so that these things can't slide out. Otherwise they will, and what fun will that be? It'd be a pain. So anyway, I think I'm going to make up some more of those cards, different size, photo mat size, so that I can use them to kind of measure things out with. So that will complete the first portion of page 7. Now on the base page of 7, make sure you mark spine and top on your paper. And I marked a 7 so I would know where I was at. Now on this page, I have bought these waterfall photo sleeves. I bought them quite a while ago. It includes 20 sheets, and they are by We Are Memory Keepers, and they are 4x6 waterfall sleeves. It says here they're ultra crystal clear, ultra thick, archival quality, perfect for hybrid scrapbooking. Photo sleeves available in additional sizes. So I am going to use these. I'm going to use 3 of these on the base of page 7. These are not the right mats to put in here, but what I'm going to do is, let's see if you can see it better on this paper. Nope, can't. What I'm going to do is, there's a little hinge on these. You see that? I am going to score that just slightly, a 1/16 of an inch above where their sewing or their sealing line is. And I'm going to score that so I have a flap that is going to get inserted into the paper that is going to get attached to this page. And I have 3 of these. And I want to make a small angled waterfall here. Be something like that. We'll measure it up and make sure it's all nice and divvied up between spaces. But you'll have a simple waterfall here that is should be very easy to apply. So there's that. And that will finish up our page 7. So let's first start with this flap system. Make sure that you give it that added 1/8 of an inch here, because with our little waterfall and this little pocket in there, it makes it kind of chunky. Okay, shaking up my glue. Well, Luigi was in here twice this morning. And twice he started finding all kinds of little plastic strips, score tape strips, and just plasticky things. He's just a plastic chewer. I don't know if I'm the only one that has a cat that likes to chew on plastic or what. But even after I got him off of the score tape, he started on my garbage sack. Oh. Okay. Okay, so there we have that. Now, before I chunk up the inside of this, I really want to get this applied. And this is going to be a tuck pocket. But in order to apply that, I'm first going to need to measure it out well. It's going to go along this edge, and I will need to trim it down. Let's see, I want to even that up over there really good, and I'm going to make a mark right here and right here. And that's where my cut line's going to be. Oh, it'll probably come back further than that actually, because I have to leave room for my little fussy cut edge. I'm going to trim it just slightly more. There we go. Now we have a fussy cut. Okay, so now we want to apply this to a sheet of paper. And you decide if you want it to be the white or a pink or, you know, whatever. I'm just going to go ahead and use my white. And I'm going to apply this with glue. And give it this little fussy cut edge here on the bottom and this side. Whoops. And let's see here. Whoops. I know what I forgot to do. You saw it, didn't you? You saw it here first. Got to remove that glue. I meant to do this before I got together with you today. Let's put those over there. Put that at 3 o'clock. see if they can move them out of that hard drive onto another one. Okay. I'm all gluey. Now it's not perfectly straight here, but I can trim those edges down appropriately. Oops, that's my Kleenex over there. You want this to adhere to your paper really well, but remember, if you're using the thin paper, it can tear with that glue under it. So just press carefully. If you get glue on your bone folder, remove it so that it doesn't stick to your paper. Okay, we are ready to try and get that out of there. I got some areas that are a little close, but I'm happy with it. We certainly don't have to have perfect. Okay. I'm going to throw those away. Okay. Now I think the best way to work on this page is maybe flat. And we know that we need a paper behind there. I wasn't putting this on hinges because a lot of times these corner pockets have a lot of give in them anyway. I think that won't work. Try it this way. So let's go ahead and measure out our piece that we want to slip under here. Now we want it to be inside of here. And we probably are going to want it to go all the way down. So let's measure this piece up. We have it there. let's try right there. We can always clip it back down a little bit. Some YouTube videos on it if you want to learn more about it, but really when you get right down to brass tacks, it should be YouTube's responsibility to ensure the safety of children coming on to their channel. They are supposed to be 13 plus, but this law wouldn't be a worry if they had to, if it was all about that, right? So obviously they broke the law there. But they did get sued a couple years ago and paid, I don't know, an ungodly amount of money to the FTC. But the thing is Google, or not Google, but yes, it is a Google LLC. But basically YouTube is written in it because apparently they may not want to follow all the laws. And what they've done is taken all the stuff and dumped it in the creator's laps, and making the channel creators responsible. Too expensive to always put out too much glue. They're spam, so I appreciate that. But I really information. And what they, turn around and did was dump it in the laps of the creator and tell the creator that they're responsible for whether or not their site is child safe. Well, of course I have a child safe site. We can't go around cussing. If we cuss on our YouTubes, then we're definitely considered an adult channel. But who wants to be cussing all the time? So, all I can see is a shadow of that other page under this one. Okay, so there's our pocket. Whew. Thank goodness. Ta-da! See, you can put a couple of things in there, can't you? There's that. Here's the bigger one that goes in somewhere. So you can see how expandable it is. And it, may not really hang on to the papers either, so there's that to consider, but all in all, I think it looks good. Okay. Now, let's move to the inside of this page. Right here. Now, we have to remember to do a magnet in this. So I have put an X here, Put an X there, put an X there, and an X not on there. Are these the same size pockets? Good heavens, I hope so. I'm going to start here in the center and apply this pocket. Now it has folded sides, but not the bottom. So I'm going to center that on my edges here. There will be a paper in on the top. Okay, so let's start down here. Put that on that line and then line it up good. Don't want it to be crooked, because if it's crooked you'll really notice it once we apply the pocket. Okay, I'm going to erase that pencil line because it would probably be seen between those two little pieces of paper there. And I'm going to erase this X because I do have it here. I don't need the one on there anymore. And this is going to get centered right there. Decisions, decisions. Do we want it to be that large? Or do we want to trim it down a little bit? Oh, I know why I left it that large, because I was thinking about doing this. Putting this over it. You know, like a pink paper and then this. Let's see, where's the pink paper? Bring back one of those pockets, or whatever they are. Have to trim off the top. What do you think? That's why I was thinking about doing that. This is a stretchy stuff. It is roses and lace. We do want to keep our lace in here. So there's that one, and then there's this one. They've got those glue dots on them that are just really gluey. Oh, for heaven's sakes. The other one's prettier, isn't it? They call this ribbon ivory lace trim ribbon. They've got a great big glue dot thing on them there. So I can see that the one thing I need to do right away is set that there, find my placement for my magnet, and I believe I did 3/4 and 3/4 down there, so from the edge, no, it's not going to be from the edge, it's not. because it comes in a little ways. See? So how could I mark that? We'll take a little piece of washi tape. Maybe not that one, because I can't find the end. And we will apply our pocket. Right about there. Okay. Then we will get our magnets. I want to just use, I think we can get away with maybe the smaller ones on this one. I hope. I hope. I don't know. They're pretty little. Maybe we'll go to the next size up. And we will need, I never did put my stuff back in there. I know I found them. There they are. Okay, now, little trick. Whoops, did not mean to get my whole paper over there. But I did. It is what it is. There we go. So my little trick also left me a mess with my paper. Darn it. For these, it won't work anyway. That's permanent, so. and. Well, it'll be just a little bit showing there anyway. Whatever paper we choose to put down there. Okay, so now we know where our other magnet is going to go, is right there. So, let's have a look at this. I really didn't need to put it on there just yet, because, well, yeah, maybe I did. We need a color to go under there. Now, what do I have? And I'm measuring it just like I do for the anywhere else in the album. I'm trying to be better about tossing the little teeny tiny papers so that I'm not constantly saving all kinds of papers that I don't really need. I mean, I'm saving, you know, scraps that make sense to save. Okay, let's have a look at that. Perfect. Erase the pencil lines. And find a glue dot. Oh, there's one over there. There we go. And I'm just going to lift this up and press it onto that circle. There we go. That should just about put it where it's supposed to be, I hope. Now some of this might show, so we want to dress it up with a little bit of distressing ink. Oops, almost put the glue on the wrong side. Oh, got stuck to a glue dot. Glue dots are sticking to me today. Oh dear. And shame on you. We want that to stay in there as much as possible, don't we? Gently work it around that magnet. I've got to find some thinner magnets, definitely. These chunky ones. So sometimes they're just a little too chunky. Yep. Had to make sure I had the right side where it was supposed to be. Okay, let's have a look at this. See all this glue stuff they have under here? Gosh, it kind of ruins that whole piece of lace right there. Let's see. I think I want it to go between these three anyway. So I think I will cut it from there that stuff's not easy to cut. I've never cut any lace like this before, or elasticy lace. It does stretch, so there is that. Oh, I was stuck to the magnet. For goodness sake. So, should that go to the inside, do you think? Maybe. So that kind of gives us this little piece here. And we can't really fold it over because it doesn't work well that way. Can't really fold it under. I don't care so much if it hangs over the end. guess we could cover the inside and just do a wrap. But then it would show. But we could put a... No, I don't want to wrap it all the way around. Nope, nope, nope. Changed my mind on that. Okay. So it looks like I need to cut it right in here. With all that elastic in there, it cuts really strange. Yeah, that's okay. Because then we can put a little piece of ribbon up there to save that. So I think what I will do is glue it down and then trim it up. It's kind of scary, isn't it? But we are going to use Fabri-Tac for this. Hope it works. I think we want it to go on lightly. But we do want it to stay stuck down, don't we? So, especially right on our edges. Cross your fingers. Whoops. Get my towel, otherwise I'm going to stick to it. Looks like I did okay. Okay, carefully trimming it down. I can see you don't want to pull on it at all, because if you give even just a little tug, then it cuts where it's not supposed to cut. So nice, concise. Oh, see, I pulled just a little bit there. Okay, I'm going to trim a little bit off there. Oh, should have left that one. But I am going to put some ribbon up here. And I have just enough of this left that I can glue this down. And have it for both pockets. There we go. Every fingernail that I have had this last couple weeks has just broke. I never could grow a fingernail. It's the craziest thing. They split. I probably should just go to the fake nails and just get them put on, learn how to live with a fingernail. Wouldn't that be something? I wouldn't know what to do with a fingernail. How would I do it? I don't know. Okay. I like that, but I feel like it needs a little tiny ribbon on it. Where's a little tiny ribbon? I have that one. There's this one again. But we have green on the adjoining page. So maybe I should consider the green. Oh, I don't really like it. I think it takes up too much, don't you? Well, it looks kind of cool in a way. What did we do over here? We had this pink with this green and white. But this is a page that you can't see with this one, correct? Okay. Thanks for telling me. Okay. So, put those there. I'm actually thinking of, look at there. I don't know what's in here. Let's look at it. Shall we? Oh, I don't think I like that. Make a cute little doll dress, but see, it's too ruffly on that one. Oh gosh, now it's just gonna want to come undone. What I'm after is this one. No rhyme or reason, is there? I know it's tucked in there somewhere, but I just can't quite tell where. I think it's right in here somewhere. There it is. Nope. It would look okay somewhere else, but not there. That one is out. Hang on. Going for the ribbon band. I was thinking of something more like that. I think that's the one we'll use. What do you think? What do you think? I kind of like that one. If I had a small green one like that, I would use that, but I have not been able to find a small green one. That one's more purple. That's bright yellow. That is purple. Oh, wait. Wait. Don't tell me. Look at this. Of course, now I love greens. And I love pink. Like I told you, gotta watch me on that one. All green and pink, green and pink. Oh, I think I like the pink better. There's the green. This is what the green looks like. Oh, for heaven's sakes. Good heavens. The green looks like that. And the pink looks like that. I think I like the pink. Okay. And I think because I like the pink, we might look at putting a jewel on it. Not that one. Maybe a little flower jewel? Maybe. And we still have these. Nope. I'm thinking more like one of those. Or one of these. Oh, I love that. Oh. But we still have to think about our closure, don't we? So, what are we going to use for a closure? Now this ribbon I am going to wrap to the inside. It will just adhere nicely in there. Now I'm probably going to regret not placing tape down on this ribbon first. Didn't need to make it that long. I got tape stuck to me. Okay. Oh, that's the magnet. I couldn't figure out what was so hard in there. Something really hard inside. Here. Need to leave space for our paper there. Tool. Looking for a tool, please. Okay, now just a little piece of tape over that. I think I better come to the conclusion that I put everything at 3 o'clock. Oh goodness, Sanj. Probably came too close to the edge right there. There, I shoved it back a little bit. That'll help. Okay, there's that one. Now we can apply it right up here. And then after we apply it, we'll get the next pocket on, but we will put the paper in here to cover this and that, and then we'll cover that. But decisions on what we should put here. We could do a ribbon closure. From actually this thing to here. That would hold that down and this one down all together. By bringing this down and making it long enough to tie a bow right in here maybe, or right down here. Let's decorate this pocket. Are we going to do it the same way? We can make the bottoms a little different color. See, I think my card is not quite lined up. This side needs to come back a little bit. Try it now. It's a little bit better. There we go. Sometimes you just have to readjust them a little bit. Looks like it needs just a slight readjustment. The only thing I can think is that I scored it wrong. Was off just a little bit on my scoring. But I think it's okay. Alright. So we need this little piece of paper on here. Sorry about the glue on my hands. It gets kind of gluey in here. Oh dear, I have to move that. Couldn't see where I was at on that white. There's that. And then a little bit off the side. Okay, let me cut the card down so it'll fit. That's a little better. Okay. Of course, if my card was off and I readjusted it, that would make a difference too. Oops. This to the top, and then we added a small ribbon. So right about here. Just burnishing that tape down into that ribbon. This ribbon comes pre-taped. I bought it through Amazon. Ah, there it is. Oh, don't do that. Gotta get some of those little thread areas off of there. Oops. Some glue off of my finger. And obviously I'm going to have to put some glue on some of these. Just cleaning up some of the glue that stuck in that ink. That did not look so good. Well, guess that's going to take Fabri-Tac. Because it did not work to glue it down the other way with the other stuff. Okay, trim that down. Oops, threw that in the wrong bin. Well, I really start on the Christmas album next. I have Christmas paper and I'd like to use it. I think I will go for a junk journal though. Maybe not a scrapbook album. Maybe not a mini album, I should say. Okay. I'll fold that over and tuck it back under there till I get the there we go. I was gonna say, oh no, I glued something else to it. Oh, goodness. That would have been to bits. Okay, we're ready to glue that one on then. Let's put our Fabri-Tac lid on. And apply glue to our hinge. When I push it down, I want to be sure that it's where it's supposed to be. Let's see, I don't want that. I want this. Okay, shall we try it now? See how it works. We'll try it up closer to this one. I should have used a little wider ribbon. Well, what do you think? Leave it or remove it? And put we could put little magnets in there too. Using the small ones, that would be okay. I think that might be better. Because that is really quite loose. And we can pull it a little tighter, but I don't like how it pulls out the bottom. It closes well once it's closed. But I just see that, how it's gapping. I think maybe we'll do the tiny magnets. This is the way it works, so you know, you try things and sometimes things work and sometimes they don't. And I just don't think that's going to work very well. I would not be happy with it. I probably wouldn't sleep. So what I'm going to do is open this just slightly. And I'm going to give a little tiny cut in there and cut that ribbon off on the inside. And now I'm going to seal it back up nice and tight. Okay, so before I apply magnets here and here, I want to get this one on. So I have my little piece of my Zot dot on there, these, a little clear adhesive dot. Let's make sure these are lining up like they're supposed to. And there we go. On these, we'll use the much smaller magnets. Okay. I think we'll place it inside here, and then we'll place it there, and there we go. Tape. There's the tape. I've lost the end of the tape. It's not the end of the tape. Okay. Put that over there and get it out of the way. And that goes over there. And these go here. Okay. Now let's do this one. It's trying to pull into this magnet. Oh, it's trying to pull away from that magnet. That's what it's doing. So we'll just have to set it on that direction so they're not pulling against each other. There we go. And it'll hold that lid open. There you go. Okay. Now, let's decorate the outside of these 2 pockets. And let's see, this is going to go here. Okay, let's put that up there. Alright, inside, or inside. So do we want a little cut on those or not? What do you think? I don't know if I can get my tool in there or not. Oh, well, it helps if you don't. I think that's better than whatever's there you can get out. There we go. Should have done that beforehand, right? Kind of stretch that out a little bit. Okay. Yeah, that'll be better. I'll sure be glad to get it decorated here. I don't like the way it looks right now. Okay. And that. Those. Let me just put a few papers away real quick here. I should have trimmed these. Let me trim this down. We'll start with that kind of trim. Let's see if it fits. Yeah, I think that looks good. What do you think? Okay. I think I will distress that a little bit. Going to have to make myself do an album without distressing. Gosh, I bet it would save a lot of time. Okay, there's that one. Let's move down to this one. Yeah, that's better. Much better. Okay. Let's distress that one. Didn't really need to distress the bottom like I did. I could have saved on ink. Oh well. So anyway, I have some Christmas paper, and I bought some Tim Holtz Christmas ephemera, and I really want to try making either an altered book or a junk journal. It looks like it'd be a lot of fun to make one. I've made journals all my life, but I've never done an altered book. I don't even know if I can cut a book up, to be honest with you. It's something I have not done before. And I'm a little nervous about cutting into a book. But I'll tell you, they look so amazing. It's just really something. Okay. Now you don't need to glue all the way down to the bottom. Once the card is in there, it's not going to come back out with the top glued. And it will be much easier to slide down in the pocket without all the glue on it. There we go. Okay, we're getting there. Yoo-hoo. Exciting. Okay, I think maybe these with a little bit of writing on them. Let's see, we have pink up here. So there's that. If we could put a rose on them. There's a big rose on that one. This has the fatter wood, this has the thinner wood. Let's do this. That's the one we need right there. Okay, so we'll cut this one to fit here. That off there. Yes. I'm going to just slide that in there. I can't slide it all the way down. Because our pocket is, of course, sealed down here. So I need to make a little card here. So I can trace that shape. right here. And then I guess it would go on this side, wouldn't it? It worked. Worked fine. Okay, let's ink this one up. Little glue pieces on that one. Okay, there's that one. Now I don't know if this hole is the same size. It's not. So what we will do is slide this card in here, just like that. Do that. We'll call this number 2 pocket. And this is number 1 pocket. Okay. Gotta erase that pencil line I got drawn in there. There too. Okay. Guess we can go ahead and apply that. It should be dry enough now. Picked it up. Oh. I see it. Here it is. Oh my goodness. And. Let's put that guy down. Peel that off. Rose goes on the front. There, and a little slice there. Okay. Let's distress this one. Okay, we'll have to let that one dry for a little bit. While it's drying, we have that. We have to do this and this. Okay. So we have flowers. Let's go with the green up here, shall we? There's one. 2. I think I could get 2 out of there. So one would be green and one would be green with lace. Oh gosh, I double marked it. Oh darn, I think I cut that one too small. Nope, it's okay. But I did cut that one a little big. Okay. Uh-oh. Didn't mean to do that. Now that one's got to dry. Okay, guess I got my mind on a lot of other things today. Oh, sorry about that. Okay, look at that. We'll have to think about how we're going to decorate this page up. It needs something. I like it, don't get me wrong. I think it looks really good. But it needs a little something. Okay.